All right, welcome back. We continue live right here at Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani with you until 11 o'clock tonight. Then switch over to KDKA-TV for all the latest news, sports, and weather. And there's a lot of weather to talk about, certainly not just here, but down as Hurricane Dorian approaches Florida and the eastern shoreline of the United States. So Kristen Emery have all of that for you. I'll have the sports, and we have the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. In the meantime, we're talking about Steelers, their opener against New England, maybe some of the roster decisions they have made, because I was interested to find out if Sutton Smith was going to be on that practice squad or Johnny Holton, two guys that I think have potential, but they were both not. Deontay Spencer picked up by the Denver Broncos, so they lose him. Your take on the Steelers and the state of the Steelers as we are heading into Week 1. I'm excited about that game. I think it should be fascinating right off the bat on a night where they celebrate yet another championship. So let's go to the lines. We'll begin with Aaron in Green Tree. Hey, Aaron, how are you?
Okay, Bob, how you doing?
Doing good, thanks.
Hey, Rudolph's the second-string quarterback, right?
Correct. He earned that, yes.
Okay, and another thing is, I went down Rivers today, and the Steelers are getting 6.5, so I put some money on the Steelers.
You took the points.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think they have a very talented team. I don't know how they're going to fare up there. The one good thing, Tim Benz and I talked about this on our #1 Cochran Sports Showdown tonight, was the fact that this, unlike 2015, when they also opened the season at Foxborough, that was the main topic all the way through training camp. This year, there's been too many things going on aside from this game. Now this week it'll ramp up, but there was no Antonio Brown situation, Le'Veon Bell situation. Those things dominated the offseason, so people didn't talk about this game as urgently as they did back in 2015. That might help them. I don't know.
Right. I think Steelers are going to win.
All right. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Hope you make some money there. Line 5 we go. Josiah in San Antonio. Haven't heard from you, Ron, but now it's football season, so I expect I will.
How you doing, Bob?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, just two questions. First, have you guys heard anything from Stan? Because I heard on one of his podcasts he was saying he was taking some time off, and I didn't hear him on Steeler Nation Radio with Charlie Batch.
No, I have not. I've known he's had some health issues that he's dealt with, and one thing about Stan, he moves on. He wants to get back at it, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's back. But I'll check into that. I have not heard myself, no.
Okay. And then the other question was quickly with Devin Bush. I heard that some say that he's not going to be used as much as only as a 3-down linebacker. So my question is, if they traded up to get him, why not play him in all the way fully like that?
Well, I think they intend to do that. I think it's, at first you may see more Mark Barron just because they're going to lean on his experience. But I think ultimately he's going to be the guy in there. And it's good to have more than one. Depth is such a big issue over the course of 16 games, as you know. I think they may have some concerns at outside linebacker. That's why they kept Tuzar Skipper, because they know what he can do. And Ola Adeni, not sure what they're going to do with him. They may make a move with him this week. We'll see. But currently he's on the roster. He may not be ready to play. So if not, you're going to need all you can get. But Devin Bush will play a lot. I guarantee that. I think, as I said on the broadcast the other night, I think he's going to be the Rookie of the Year defensively.
Okay, and then just quickly, if you have the time, just aside of Andrew Luck's retirement, people have been hard on him, saying that, he's a soft player and he shouldn't be playing. He should have forfeited the money. The guy was getting a punishment, and to me, for fans to even boo him like that, it just shows how classist they were to boo the man when he's, been getting broken down.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a knee-jerk reaction. I don't think they feel that way genuinely. I think the Indianapolis Colts failed Andrew Luck. They never did fortify him with a better offensive line. That's one thing the Steelers have done late in Ben Roethlisberger's career, made sure that, and Tom Brady's the same way. They make sure he doesn't get hit. Andrew Luck, on the other hand, was getting hit a lot. And I know Roethlisberger's been hit more than any other quarterback. However, they have really lowered those numbers in the last 5 years, and I think that's a credit to them and how they've handled it. So thanks, Josiah. I appreciate it. Let's go out to line 2. That's Big Al and Robinson. What's up, Big Al? How are you?
Okay, it's lightning in Robinson too, Bob.
It's lightning everywhere, and it will continue all through the night. Get the latest from Kristen Emery tonight at 11.
Hey, Bob, this is my 60th year with the Pit. 60 years. Now, I called that shot. First of all, when they went to punt the ball, I said to my guys, he's not far back enough. They're going to block the punt. And this kid Whipple, I don't know what this Whipple, this coach.
Kid. It's not kid.
Man, this quarterback is not good enough to throw the ball 40 times. They handed this Virginia 21 points. They're not that good, Virginia. I don't know whether thinks they're so good.
They're a
They'll
veteran
be a
team,
75
though, that
team.
won't make a lot of mistakes, I think, and their defense can carry them. They're pretty good defensively, and I think you saw that in the second half. Although you're right, Al, the Panther offense is until they get a bona fide quarterback. I think they've had some good guys who've had nice careers. I'm talking about someone who can really be a centerpiece of an offense. Nothing against Kenny Pickett. It's just he had 8 yards in the championship game against Clemson last year, and they were afraid to go to him at times in third and passing situations.
Yeah, but how could this Whipple make his kid throw the ball 40 times? I've seen enough already. They're a 7-5 or 6-6 team, and the same as Virginia. It's a weak ACC conference. I'm so used to this. This guy's not a good coach. He set the tone for the whole year. They just don't have it.
Thanks very much, Al. I always appreciate it, but. Hey, listen, they lost 2 1,000-yard runners. If memory serves me right, that's the first time in Pitt history they had tandem 1,000-yard running backs. So, I don't think they expect, although they have talented running backs, to expect that kind of production. So somebody's got to pick up the load. We'll see. It's only one game, but it won't get any easier next week, by the way. You may look at Ohio and say, oh, the Bobcats are coming. Watch out. They're a team that is expected to do real well in the MAC, and you know about the MAC. Let's go out to Mark in Castle Shannon. What's up, Mark? How are you tonight?
Hi, Bob. How you doing? Enjoy
Good.
this show. I wish it was longer. Bob, I just, want to talk Pitt football just real quick. I'm sure there's multiple, questions, but my concern is I believe Pat Narduzzi made a mistake when he, 2 seasons ago, when he picked Kenny Pickett when they had quarterback injuries. Why didn't he play Thomas McVitie? He was highly rated. Thomas McVitie, I believe, is going to start for Les Miles at Kansas. And then maybe this is a little premature, but I'm sure you heard a 4-star running back from Pitt from the 2018 recruiting class out of D.C., Michael Saladin. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, but I know he had a knee injury, surgery. I'm not saying these kids, because they're highly rated, you hand them the starting job. I'm not saying that, but Pat Narduzzi and his staff have not been recruiting well. And if I could just throw this out real quick, I'm not saying he's interested.
I will say defensively he's had some pretty good inroads, and if you look at some of the guys in the WPIL or in his defensive secondary, they're pretty good players, and I think they've developed nicely.
Well, there's things I like about Narduzzi. I'm not saying Pitt should change coaches, but I'm just going to mention a name. I know you'll know this. Terrell Austin, who I know is with the Steelers now. I'm not saying whether he's interested. Maybe you get a chance to talk to him. But remember, Steve Peterson screwed up. If he would have hired Terrell Austin back when, he hired Todd Graham, Terrell Austin was with Urban Meyer at Florida. He knows about big-time programs. I think Terrell Austin would succeed at Pitt, and I'm going to hang up and listen to your comments.
Well, we'll find out. I don't think that's going to happen. He signed a deal, and I think he's happy to be where he is with the Steelers, and I think Heather Lyke has just given Pat Narduzzi not too long ago a 7-year extension. So she's going to be very patient, and at the end of it, will they regret doing that? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But so far, again, it's just mediocrity. You'd expect more. I think it's perfectly acceptable to expect Pitt being a top 20 team. That should not be out of the realm of possibility. But you got to do better than they've done, and we'll see what happens. But as I said, Ohio coming in next week's not easy. Then at Penn State, and then Central Florida comes here. So even though there won't be conference games until October again, that's a pretty challenging schedule. We got to take a break. Come back with more. It's 412-575-2600 right here on Pittsburgh CW.